invited one person to my wedding, and she almost ruined the entire marriage before it even started. My husband and I got married a month ago. We had a very small wedding in our garden with just our closest friends and family, so around 25 people. We didn't tell people who weren't invited when we got married since we knew some people would have just shown up without being invited. Leading up to our wedding, I also asked the people who were invited that they shouldn't post about our wedding at least until after everything had happened. So I have never really gotten along with the best man's new girlfriend, but I was like, we'll make it work, and we are still going to invite her since she is the best man's girlfriend. Months before the wedding, she came up to me and said she would like to DIY something for our wedding and I should tell her what she could create. I thought that was very cute, and after some back and forth she came up with the idea to make cards for sparklers we could hand out to our guests. Once again, I thought this would be cute. She asked me to send her some inspo, and that's what I did. Now a few weeks go by and she shows me those cards which look nothing like the inspo I'd sent her, but I was still like, fine, whatever. Now here comes the part why we have some drama. Leading up to our wedding, she dropped some hints about getting engaged at or after our wedding. My husband and I then went up to his best man, who then assured us he wouldn't propose on our wedding day. However, she still didn't stop dropping remarks about how her wedding should look, and she could already tell she wouldn't want our wedding to be like hers. Now I was like, girly, this isn't the time to make things about yourself, but for now I'll just ignore it. Here comes our wedding day. We have the best day ever. I don't even spend that much time with her, but the few interactions we have, I ignore or pretend like nothing happened. However, this is where I get really annoyed. Before our wedding, I asked the guests to fill out a form where they should tell us about their eating restrictions. She answered that she didn't have any restrictions or allergies, and she would be completely fine. Nonetheless, on our wedding day she goes up to the chef. We had a food truck with some amazing barbecue, and she asks him about all those things and whether they are in the food or not. The chef said that luckily the thing she was allergic to is only in one sauce, and she just shouldn't eat that. She then came up to me and said that the food tasted like trash and she couldn't even eat half of the food we had. My husband said that we were sorry and most of our guests seemed to enjoy the food, but if she would get hungry later on we could order something for her. Later on she came up to the best man, who at the time was standing next to me, and said to him that I was a witch with a bee. Didn't give her enough food, and I wasn't thankful because I hadn't given out the cards with the sparklers yet. To avoid more drama, I asked my maid of honor to hand out the cards and that we could light up the sparklers right away. That's everything I noticed on my wedding day. Part 2 in pinned comment.